Kia ora, Year 13. George has just emailed me a question about a triangular problem where we have to find the mode. I've taken out all the copyright information in this, but you can find it in your very fabulous D&D book if you look hard enough. Or if you've got those books and you want to send me a quick email, I'll tell you. So George's question goes like this. We've got a probability for a triangular question. We're told that the probability of having x greater than 8 is equal to 0.167. Now, I've turned that into a fraction because it's going to make my working a wee bit easier, but you don't have to do that. You can do it all in decimals. And the other information we're given is we're given the minimum and the maximum. Our job is to find the mode. So George's question is, how can I do it using similar triangles instead of using the formula, which might get a little bit messy? It is totally fine to do it using the formula, but this is what we're going to do it with similar triangles. We can draw our graph and put our information on as usual, and then go how we usually do, which is to start by finding the peak height. So we've got 4 and 10 here, and we can mark on 8. We know the probability of having greater than 8 is equal to 1/6. Right, the next thing we're going to do is get the peak height, which is 2 over the base. And the base is 6. So it's 2 over 6. I'm going quite fast through this. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you've got a good grip on triangular to start with. So we can pop that on there and we get 1/3, and that's f of something, and we don't know what that something is. The next thing we can do is we can work backwards from this to figure out what the peak height was here. What the height was at 8. So the next part of the problem is to say, what's f of 8? Right, so the probability in a triangular comes from the area of a triangle formula. So we know that 1/6 is equal to half times the base. Right, the base here is from 8 to 10, and it's 2. So half the base times f of 8. These two things simplify. That leaves me with a useful fact, which is that 1/6 is equal to f of 8. So looking here, we know that the relationship of this to this has got to match the relationship of this to this using similar triangles. Now you can probably see visually that 1/6 divided by 1/3 is equal to a half. And that means that this distance here over this distance here must also equal a half. So we get 2 over 10 minus, we'll finally call it x, 10 minus x is equal to 1/2. Cross multiplying, I get 4 is equal to 10 minus x, giving me x equals 6. So the mode is 6. I think this is one of those situations where you can see it visually, right, if you look at the similar triangle, but then you want to have that little bit of working to show that you've really got the idea. And the algebra is not very difficult. So here, the big idea is that we work out the height of the point that we know, we work out the peak height, and we work out the fraction of the way along that we've gone. So if you still like talking about the little ant going up the mountain, the ant starts here, and when he gets to here, we know that he's gone halfway. So that's 1 here, and this bit of the fraction must be the 2, right? So 2, which is the gap from 8 to 10, has got to be half of the final gap. Right, so 2 over 4 is equal to 1/2. I hope that helps, and I hope it hasn't made it worse. Let me know if you've got more questions, and I'll try and do some quick YouTubes. So thanks, George, for sending that one in.